For as long as video games have been around, players have been attempting to complete all achievements, reaching 100% or even perfection if we're talking about my favorite game, Stardew Valley. But what if we apply those same principles of perfection to Animal Crossing New Horizons? What would that actually include? I mean, all DIY recipes and just shipping all of the fruit doesn't seem so bad. So what if we took it even further? Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm attempting to speedrun 100% in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And these are the goals I'm working towards. Starting from a fresh island, you have to complete all of the Nook Miles achievements, finish the full museum, craft every DIY recipe and every cooking recipe, have one of every fruit, flower, crop on your island, collect every single KK Slider song, and by the end of it, we should have the frame photos of all of our villagers and have a fully decorated 5-star island. I'm estimating this to take around 150 plus hours, more likely 200 hours, but we're currently around 50 hours into this challenge so far. I've been live streaming this process nearly every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday that I'm live over on my Twitch channel, which is just a 20-something loser. So if you're interested in keeping up with this challenge on a more frequent basis, you can find me over there. Since we're already 50 hours in, let's take a look at my island to see what we've achieved so far. Hi, and welcome to Funky Fox Island. Funky Fox was the original name of my town in Animal Crossing Wild World as a kid, and now as an adult, I refuse to name my island, town, farms, etc., and everything else other than Funky Fox. So, enjoy. Here we are. This island includes no use of treasure islands, but plenty of time traveling, hence the speedrun aspect of this challenge. We're starting off this tour in the museum in the fish display, as I'm extremely proud to say that after 50 hours I have caught every single fish in the game. So please enjoy as we walk around the museum. The last few fish we caught were the coelacanth, mahi-mahi, and the blowfish, with the first two requiring an extensive amount of fish bait. At 50 hours in, we've caught nearly all of the sea creatures as well. We just have the Gaius giant clam, firefly squid, spider crab, giant isopod, horseshoe crab, and flatworm yet to catch. Just because I found all of the fish doesn't mean we're done with fishing, unfortunately, as we still have to catch 5,000 fish for the Nook Miles achievement. Let's move on now to the bug hallway. I'm officially 93% complete with the bugs. I have caught every single butterfly, which you can see in this room here. So incredibly pretty. This is probably my favorite room in the museum, is the butterfly room. Of all the bugs, we are only missing the firefly, ladybug, walking stick, flea, centipede, and spider. The regular spider, not the tarantula. Caught plenty of those. By the time this video comes out, fingers crossed, we should have finished all of the bugs on stream as well. But who knows? There could be one that gives me a hard time. I don't know. Now let's head over to our fossil hallway next. I'm very happy to say that I have found every single fossil available for the museum. I will be continuing to have fossils assessed for decoration, of course, but also because we have to have 500 fossils assessed by Blathers for a Nook Miles achievement. And I'm currently in the mid 300s, so we have a bit of a ways to go still. Now our art hallway is a bit more bare at this moment. Eventually we will just time travel forwards and backwards on a day where Red is here to eventually acquire all of the art and statues. But for the time being, we just have a few art pieces. We do thankfully have Brewster on our island, and we've slowly been ordering coffees to hopefully unlock the Brewster gyroid. Now let's take this tour outside. Just a little side note, but while I was making my way to the airport to start the outside tour section, I saw Ursula had a thought bubble and honestly was just expecting her to give us something, but she actually has to leave. She was one of my first 2 villagers, and I let her go. She kept showing up at my house uninvited, so I was quite happy she finally asked to leave. But here is what my airport and what my map looks like currently. On my island, we have 2 cats, a dog, a peacock, a bunny, a goat, a squirrel, a cub, and 2 big bears, which both will hopefully be leaving soon because I cannot stand Beardo. Currently, all the villagers' homes are on the beaches until I decide where to move them, but my home and the museum are in their final spots. This image here is a drawing of what I hope my island will look like in the future. Hope that makes sense. But here is what the actual island looks like right now. It's pretty bare. Outside of the airport, we have all my pink flowers, orange flowers in front of Nook's Cranny. And of course our resident services right in the middle. Across the river to the right is everyone's homes along the beach with my campsite. And of course, Cap'n relaxing on his boat. In front of both waterfalls, I have brown Zen bridges. So across this one currently is my farm and where I'm doing all my hybrid flower breeding, which we are about 80% done with. In the back here, we have a huge orchard of every fruit, which I had to get from my boyfriend's island since this was the only way to get the other fruit other than your island specific, like sister fruit. The museum is up on the second level, as I would love to put a mini museum outside of it. And then the rest of the upper levels are blank besides inside of my home over here. So let's head on inside. At the entry, I've done a little decorating with the furniture I've made, and we have my living room here. Now to the left here is my kitchen with what little Thanksgiving items we've collected so far. To the right though is a blank room. But to the back is my gyroid collection room, which is where I'm trying to collect every gyroid, which I feel like is going pretty good so far. The biggest part of this challenge is the Nook Miles achievements. The most difficult ones being the 5,000 fish, 5,000 bugs, and 2,500 sea creatures, which I'm slowly chipping away at. We're slowly working our way through all of them, but we for sure have a lot to go. I'm using a Google Sheet to track everything I've gotten so far, which I will link down below if you want to take a look at it. I've modified it from a dog I borrowed from the Animal Crossing speedrun community for all museum items, and expanded it to include all Nook Miles, all KK Slider songs, which we are 50% done with, by the way, and also flowers. But that's it so far. It might not seem like much, but we've gone on 2 smaller villager hunts to get Sherb and Olive, and I feel like the decorating will be pretty quick compared to the critter grinding we'll be doing. But I hope you enjoyed this little tour, and I'll see you with more Animal Crossing live on my Twitch channel, or in another 50 hours.